agua para chocolate, or Like Water for Chocolate, is a 1992 magical realism historical romance directed by Alfonso Aro about a girl named Tita, her relationships with her family, and her ability to infuse her emotions in her cooking. The movie takes place in the early 1900s in Mexico during the Mexican Revolution. Como Agua para Chocolate uses its time period to emphasize its themes of oppression, freedom, and tradition. Tita lives on a ranch with her mother, two sisters, and their servants. Tita is the youngest of the three, and so her mother, Elena, has decided that Tita must never marry and must take care of her. Tita comes to conflict with her mother when she falls in love with a boy named Pedro. Pedro hopes to marry Tita, but Elena says that Tita cannot marry and he should instead marry her daughter, Rosaura. Pedro accepts this proposal so that he can be near Tita, the girl he truly loves. Tita does not have any say in what happens in her life, as Elena controls what happens to her daughters. While Tita's struggle is not specific to the time period, it exacerbates her lack of autonomy. Tita and Pedro continue their relationship in secret even after Pedro gets married to her sister. Tita's other sister, Gertrudis, also rebels against her mother by running away with a member of the rebellion. The background of the Mexican Revolution furthers the themes of the movies, as we see that not only are Tita and Gertrudis rebelling against authority, the country is too. The Mexican Revolution started in December 1910 because the people did not want to live under the dictatorship of Porfirio Diaz any longer. The Mexican people wanted democracy and the ability to make choices that would affect their lives. The two marry each other in an intentional way, and in the end, both the revolution and the girl succeed in gaining their freedom. Because the movie is set in the early 19th century, Tita does not have a lot of control over her own life. She lives in an isolated ranch in a small village and rarely leaves. The set rarely changes throughout the movie and adds to this constricted feeling. Tita's mother is physically and emotionally abusive to her throughout the movie. Elena slaps her, berates her, forces her to cater the wedding of her sister Rosaura to Pedro, and refuses to allow her to live her own life. After Pedro and Rosaura get married, Rosaura gives birth to a son named Roberto. Rosaura is unable to breastfeed Roberto, and so Tita must nurse him instead. Elena can tell Pedro and Tita are having an affair and sends Pedro, Rosaura, and Roberto away to Texas. Because Rosaura cannot feed Roberto, he dies. Upon hearing the news, Tita climbs to the dovecot and stays there for 7 days, becoming despondent. She is saved by John Brown, a doctor, who takes her to Texas to recover. After spending some time in Texas with John and his son, Elena sends one of her servants, a maid named Chencha, to check on Tita. Tita tells Chencha that she will not return home and that she and John are engaged. Tita is finally free from her mother. At the ranch, Elena and Chencha are attacked by bandits. Elena is pushed by the bandits and she dies. Tita returns for her mother's funeral with John, and they see Gertrudis, now a general in the rebellion and married to a rebel. They also see Pedro and a pregnant Rosaura. Rosaura gives birth to a girl, which they name Esperanza, but is unable to have more children. Because of this, Rosaura decides that Esperanza must carry on the family tradition of the youngest or only daughter being forced to take care of the mother. Tita might be free, but the tradition still continues. Pedro sneaks into Tita's bedroom and seduces her. Tita starts having visions of her mother berating her for having an affair with Pedro. Tita believes that she is pregnant with Pedro's baby and is finally able to stand up to her mother. Eventually, Tita realizes she is not actually pregnant. She also reveals to John that she cheated on him and breaks off their engagement. Rosaura confronts Tita about the affair and tells her that she will never allow Esperanza to marry. The movie then skips ahead in time about 20 years to the wedding of Esperanza and John's son. It is revealed that Tita fought against Rosaura for Esperanza's right to marry and that Rosaura died years ago from an illness, finally putting an end to a family tradition that ruined so many lives. After the wedding, Pedro and Tita can finally be together, and so they have sex. Pedro dies from a heart attack after they finish, and Tita commits suicide because she cannot live without him. Throughout the movie, Tita struggles against her mother to be in control of her life and love. Elena refuses to let Tita live a normal life because the upholding of the family tradition benefits her and allows her to be in control. They live in a time where women don't have a lot of control over their own lives, so Elena instead dictates the lives of her daughter. Tita and Gertrudis rebel against Elena and attempt to live the way they want to. Rosaura, in contrast, lives the way her mother wants her to. Rosaura lives a miserable life with a husband that doesn't love her, a dead son, and in the end she dies young. Gertrudis is her opposite. She was the first to leave the family, has a happy marriage, and becomes a general. Tita is in the middle, as she left later than Gertrudis. She does not have a happy ending, but she does have a happy life after her mother dies. Como Agua para Chocolate is about how the only way to have a truly happy life is to be free.